I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in UK test part 333. Criminal courts, maybe part 2 or something. No, not criminal court. Civil courts, county courts, that is your author. The small claims procedure. So the small claims procedure while doing a leg injury prevention training. And if you participate in the leg injury prevention training, that's at your own risk. And there was something showing in the book for another project, and they went a page too far, and I saw that we have a chapter for forced marriage and also for domestic violence. I was first a bit startled when I saw it because I knew we have to talk about it, but I'm glad because maybe we can prevent a few cases if we talk about it. And I also decided that if they will not talk about the age of consent, then I'm going to look it up and then we're going to bring it in one video. So the small claims procedure. The small claims procedure is an informal way of helping people to settle minor disputes without spending a lot of time and money using a lawyer. Let's read that sentence again and understand it. The small claims procedure is an informal way of helping people to settle minor disputes without spending a lot of time and money for using a lawyer. So there is the small claims procedure, and that should, without great formality, without great bureaucracy, without a lot of time and money for a lawyer, help people to settle minor disputes. This procedure is used to claims of less than £10,000 sterling in England and Wales, 5,000 using the simple claims procedure in Scotland, and 3,000 in Northern Ireland. So if the hearing is held in front of a judge in an ordinary room and people from both sides of the dispute sit around the table. Small claims can also be issued online through Money Claims Online, www.moneyclaim.gov.uk. Okay, there seems to be something that without the great round of lawyers, time and money and great bureaucracy, if it's just about 10,000 in England, Wales, 5,000 Scotland, 3,000 Northern Ireland, the sum which people are disputing over, then we can come to an ordinary room. There is a judge, and they will both sides then talk about it and then try to settle it without the great round of lawyer and time and money. You can get details about the small claims procedure from your local county court or sheriff court. Details of your local court can be found at England and Wales, www.gov.uk, Scotland, www.scotcourts.gov.uk, and Northern Ireland at www.justice-nigh.gov.uk. So we don't have great details here, so for more details we should go to gov.uk, scotcourts.gov.uk, or justice-nigh.gov.uk. So there seems to be a procedure if two people are disputing over money up to £10,000, then they don't have to go to the great courts with judge and jury and lawyer and also that. They can then make a small procedure. There will be then a hearing in an ordinary room, there will be a judge, and they're trying to come to an agreement. I don't know if something is ruled there. So the problem basically is this just two people are talking and they will then find an agreement? Or is it two people are telling me what the problem is and then the judge decides who's there? That would be a very important detail. So there is something smaller even when the magistrate courts, they're just in an ordinary room where two disputing people can talk with the judge together. If it's just about money and below £10,000, but we should get more details on that for every case. And that can be done at the county court or the sheriff court or these web addresses. That's it. That was the small claims procedure. And the next part we will continue then with the civil courts and then we're trying to understand all together. So if you're just here for civil courts, then you can go to the next part. Otherwise, we will do now leg injury prevention training. If you participate in it, that's at your own risk. We're all in the first exercise. We're having the legs standing wide apart and we're breathing in and going down. And out. And again in. And out. And again in. And out. And the last one, breathe in. Out. Breathe in and close the legs. And out. And to the first exercise, we're having a good standing leg. The other leg is with a flex foot in the air, and we're swinging it in front and to the side, and the toes are pointing more or less in front outside. So we can't really go to the criminal courts for now. We will do it then altogether when we have civil courts. But the Commonwealth members, we had Antigua and Barbuda, Australia and Belize. Then we are having Bangladesh and Barbuda and now Belize. And then we're having Cameroon and Beirut, Brunei Darussalam. Beirut is a city. Brunei Darussalam and Botswana. So it was Bahamas. Botswana, Brunei Darussalam and Cameroon. We have changed flag. Now what else did we have here? But we wanted to do. We're gonna do the parliaments also. Yes, let's go to the parliaments. And a few more. So then to form parliament with changing exercise. Where we have parliaments. Next exercise, good standing leg. The other leg with flex foot in the air. We bring it in front and back, front and back. So Wales, the Senate. We are remembering closely that Scotland has a Scottish Parliament. Wales, the Senate. Maybe that is. Let's remember it that way. Maybe it is also the case. Senate sounds like Senate, so Senat, just written differently with double D because it's in Welsh. So Senate in Wales. And formed 1999 in Cardiff, which is the capital of Wales. And it has 60 Senate members. The Senate in Cardiff and Wales, it formed in 1999 60 members. Let's do this, but we have time to come a couple of more times back. We have changed flag. And here the 5 things of civil servants doing people. Integrity, honesty, objectivity, neutrality, impartiality, and dedication and commitment to that job. That was the exercise. The next one. One leg up into a right angle. Flex foot, even lined hips, tall up with back, and we bring the leg to the outside. And I have to get towards advising by this exercise. And we're breathing out, the leg to the outside. We're breathing again in, the leg into the middle, and out and down. Again, the same, breathe in, the leg up, out to the outside, breathe again in, and out and down. Now we're changing the leg where we are having the institutions. When we don't, where we have the leg up, breathe in, and out to the outside, breathe again in, and out back in. So the monarchy and the parliament, the Prime Minister and the Cabinet, the Judiciary and the Police, the Civil Service, leg up, and out leg to the side, Civil Service and the local government. Breathe again in, and out leg back in the middle, and down. No, next exercise. So we're bringing our leg up, the right angle again, and now we're pressing from the inside against the knee. Right angle with the leg, flex foot, even lined hips, tall up with the back, little bend in the elbow, moderate force. And we're switching. The other leg up, right angle with the leg, flex foot, even lined hips, tall up with the back, and we're pressing from the inside. Little bend in. And the next exercise, one leg up, same setup, and now the leg presses up to the side. The knee presses up and to the side. Up to the side. And a few more. And now with the other leg, the leg up, same setup, and the leg presses up and to the side. Few more, even lined hips, tall up with the back, and a few last ones. And the next exercise. One hand on tummy, one lower back, And lift one leg up in a straight line. If quadriceps cramp, then bring it up and point the foot. Okay. So leg up and try to bring the leg higher. Control with the hands but you don't fall back. Try to bring the leg higher. And bring the leg in and point the foot. And the upper leg. The leg up. And try to bring the leg higher. Flex foot. Control with the hands but you don't fall back. Try to bring the leg higher. A little longer. Try to bring the leg higher. And we're bringing it up and point your foot. And the next exercise. One leg points with the toes to the outside, get one heel on the ground, and lifting that foot off the ground and placing it again on the ground. So the Senate in Wales and Cardiff formed 1999, 60 members. That's all. The demands of charters, 1840s, 1840s. Every man in every region should have every year, equally in equal region, the right to vote secretly and also be voted for and paid them for, if voted. Do not too much of this exercise. Loch Lomond was in west Scotland. Edinburgh is in east, so the Edinburgh Castle in east Scotland. Londonderry and Big Ben are in London in the southwest. Snowdonia, the Mountain Snowdon, are in the north of Wales. And in the northeast of Northern Ireland, there's the Giant's Causeway. Then we had also Lake District, never told where it is, but there's a Windermere. And we have changed the lake. I never know what is all in there. So in haggis. Awful sweet. Here it were the onions. Awful sweet onions and awful sweet onions and oatmeal. Haggis has oatmeal. Awful sweet onions and oatmeal. A few last ones. This exercise. Haggis, awful sweet onions, oatmeal. Awful sweet onions and oatmeal. Last one. And now the next exercise, the last exercise. You can do the stand, leg up and down. You can do the horse, leg in and out, and again in and out. You can do the camel, leg in and out, and in and out. Or you do another exercise. One leg is in the air and swings. And the standing leg is tall. And the upper part of the body goes simultaneously down, and the other leg comes up. The foot is flexed. Try to be tall on the standing leg to bring the pressure onto the biceps femoris, which is what the other three exercises not really do. And try not to fall in the abdomen. Yeah, three variations. No, there are exercises that you can do from the state. And we're going to do it a couple of times. Tall up, try not to fall in the abdomen. And last three. And we're changing the other leg. Tall up standing leg. Try not to fall in the abdomen. The swinging leg straight with a flexed foot. The upper part of the body goes simultaneously down. And that's it. And a few more. The last three. And now the closing exercise. We're breathing in. And we're breathing out. And breathe again in. And out. One last round. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in across the legs. And out. En haggisbass, awful sweet onions and oatmeal. Awful sweet onions and oatmeal and haggis. I thank you very much, and until next time.